Hi, hello, and well met, wary traveler, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nimue. I am a professional psychic, intuitive, spirit medium, and channel. If you are new here, this is a vibe check. I feel my spirit guides were kind of just pushing me to pull some cards, to tap into the energy, to kind of see what y'all might need to hear just in this moment. The energy from where I'm at right now feels very like bouncy, very elastic, very like the potential to be catapulted into a timeline you prefer seems very, very high in this moment. So if you're watching this, you might be tuning in to some of that energy. You might be feeling that something's changing, something's moving you or propelling you into a different frame rate, like into a different layer of consciousness. So before I get into the cards, if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned. That way you can stay tuned to goings on, special readings, energy updates, and the like. I'm just going to get into it. I'm just going to pull some cards today. I have 3 decks. I've got 1 tarot deck, 2 oracle decks. I will not be reading reversals for the oracle decks, but I just kind of want to see what would be beneficial to hear within this energy. If you feel like something is moving you into a different place, if you feel like there's anticipatory, like something's about to happen, something's about to change, I highly recommend going back into my videos and watching. This will be recorded in the month of June. Go back and watch the astrology for June. That might give a little bit of context to what is going on, although this reading will still have relevance after the month of June if you are checking this out later. Here's what I have for y'all. Here's what I have for y'all. We are all in big creative energy at the moment. The magician is how we hold our consciousness accountable for creating the reality that we prefer. The magician basically says, I realize and I recognize how my beliefs inform my reality. I understand that I am, to a certain degree, the master of my destiny, right? Like where my attention goes, energy flows. What you pay attention to expands. I want to see what y'all are trying to manifest. Like what are the viewers trying to bring in with this magician energy? Rapid change. Rapid change. I think some of you are a little bit, I'm getting bored of doing all the inner work with this Hermit card here. And with the 8 of Wands showing up, we're ready for something explosive. We're ready for a radical shift. We're ready for that trampoline energy to catapult and launch us into something new. Intuitively, this feels like for one of you, a house. I feel like one of you is really trying to manifest a big home. This feels like a luxury home. This feels like somebody who has recognized their worth and they want to see that worth reflected in their living quarters. For another person, this feels like I'm so ready to travel and move. For another person, this is very specifically getting out of a stagnant relationship. This could be a romantic relationship. It feels more like a relationship with your job, though, if I'm being honest. Whatever it is that's showing up for you, the 8 of Cups is an indication that it's time to walk away from something that at one point might have been very beneficial. Maybe it came at just the right time. Maybe it served you for some time, but now it's just gotten, I'm just looking at this Hermit card again, and I'm getting this just like fatigue, this boredom with everything. And having 2 8s show up is generally an indication. Actually, if I count this one, which we'll get into later, there's 3 8s that are showing up here. That's potent transformational energy. That's really saying yes to what you want, yes to your desires. Here's the trick. Here's the hack. The hack for you to get this thing that you want, for this trampoline to actually launch you into where you would like to be. It sounds a little paradoxical. I have faced the music. There's something you need to accept first. There's something you need to accept about your reality, because I think a lot of you guys, a lot of us in general, when we decide we want to change something and manifest something, it's because there's something in our reality that we are rejecting. We don't want this anymore. We're done. There's resistance to the current moment. And the best hack I have ever learned for manifesting what I want is not to fight against the current reality, but to completely and utterly face the music and accept it. Accept that your life is where it is right now without trying to put up a measure of resistance about how to change it. I know this sounds paradoxical because if we want change in our lives, we have to go do something about it. But this is like this is getting into more of the like intricacies of manifestation and magical practices. This is the yin part of manifesting, the acceptance and the allowance. Because when you're accepting and you're allowing, your energy body softens. Your energy body is not putting up resistance against the energy and the blessings that are trying to come towards you. I remember I had an epiphany, and this is not going to shake the boots of too many of you guys to hear this, but it just hit in the right way for me. Last month, I was at a show, and I just heard in the back of my head, because I was vibing with the music. It was Billy Strings. It was really good. And I just hear, all energy knows how to do is flow. All energy knows how to do, all it knows how to do is to flow. And it's only our contraction around things like trauma, the things that we don't want, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes they're unconscious, a lot of times unconscious patternings that prevent that energy flow. What I'm not doing, and I have to offer this disclaimer, is I'm not victim blaming. If you're going through a difficult time right now, I'm not suggesting that you're creating mistreatment from other people. What I am saying is that the more contracted we are, the more difficult it can be for us to realize the things that we want to see on our timeline. I'm speaking from a lot of personal experience on this one. Another hint to getting into this preferred energy that you want to be in is don't drink poison. Don't drink poison for one of you, what I'm hearing. Oh, it's like, it feels like a family member or somebody close to you. This could also be your phone, honestly, because you're close to your phone. It feels like somebody just complaining, blaming, pointing fingers. You're the problem. They're the problem. Everything's the problem. And it's creating this just like toxic layer in your energy body, because when all you're focused on doing is complaining, your external reality is just going to reflect back things to complain about. We're constantly reinforcing our reality through our belief systems. Do not drink poison. If your algorithm on like TikTok or YouTube or wherever is telling you to be mad all the time, that might be a little toxic. There are plenty of things for us to be mad at, always. Always, especially if you're somebody who cares about human rights, there are a lot of things to be very rightfully upset about at the moment. But if that's all you're consuming, your reality is going to reflect that energy. And what I worry about, especially for people that are doom scrolling all the time or only focusing on what's not working, is you don't leave a lot of room for hope. And sometimes actively resist it because you want to be so convinced that you're right, that the world is going to hell and that everybody's awful and that there's no room for like creative inspiration or for things to surprise you or delight you. I also want to point out to those of you that are really struggling with like the doom scrolling and, you know, just all of it. Oh my God, completely lost my train of thought. Am I supposed to say that out loud? Sometimes that happens. If you're new to my lives, every so often my guides will like shut me down if there's something they're like, maybe not. Focus on the light as much as you're focusing on the darkness. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say to this: do not drink poison. Don't do things that you know are bad for you. And if you're chronically doing things that you know that are bad for you, therapy is your friend. I know not everybody has access to that, but taking initiative, taking care of yourself, noticing like, what are the triggers around me behaving poorly to myself? Do I have the spoons to maybe start working on that? Maybe have a loving conversation with myself. about not doing things that are self destructive or self harmful. I think that's it. I think this is a nice little quick one. Sometimes these are going to be quick. Sometimes these are going to be a little bit longer. I definitely do longer energy updates on my subscription service on Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is in my bio. I will be going live every weekend with my patrons to do personal readings and energy updates for the collective. I hope this was helpful for today, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next time.